Hello and welcome back to the Stardew Valley Expanded playthrough. Just like last time, I'm going to do a quick recap of what's happened so far before we continue any further. We've played through the entirety of spring and summer, which means we have completed a total of 56 days so far. We are in a really good position right now. We've got a fully upgraded coop and barn, along with at least one of each animal you can buy from Marnie. I've got a tree farm, so we're getting plenty of oak resin, maple syrup, that kind of stuff. We've stayed on top of the community centre. As far as I know, we haven't missed anything during spring and summer. So we're definitely still on track to complete the community centre during winter, I would imagine. We've caught almost every fish that we can, bought 2 backpack upgrades, and have around 70 quality sprinklers on the farm. The shed on the farm has been fully refurbished. I've gone ahead and planted Joja berry starters, salal berries, and coffee beans inside there. I think that about covers the important things. So let us continue our journey through the Stardew Valley Expanded mod. Our first and primary task on day 57 is to prepare the ground for the massive amount of cranberry seeds I will be buying today. With that taken care of, I visit Clinton and ask him for the usual. Cracking open geodes and mystery boxes. I sell enough items to bump my bank account up to over 100,000 gold. As always, this money does not last very long as I enter Joja Mart, where I buy 1 eggplant seed, 50 sweet potato seeds, and 1 pumpkin seed, along with 464 cranberry seeds. I plant my sweet potatoes, sprinkling quality fertilizer over them as I do. I need 5 gold star sweet potatoes for the community centre, hence me doing this. The remainder of the day is spent planting cranberry seeds, mixed seeds, and flower seeds. It has dawned on me on day 58 that I should buy an auto grabber for Marnie. The coop was filled to the brim with eggs this morning. Our poor animals had almost no room to move around. I find a diamond in this cave thingy, which gives me an idea. I make 3 crystallariums and I toss diamonds into all 3 of them. And I toss a 4th diamond into a crystallarium I already had. Now we should get 4 diamonds every 5 days. The special orders board has been built in town. I shall be making good use of that. Completing a special order gives you a guaranteed prize ticket every single time. I accept an order from Demetrius. He wants us to catch 20 lake fish. Robin's special order wasn't bad either, to be fair. She just wanted us to collect 1,000 pieces of wood. I hope she'll offer that order to us again soon, but who knows really, it could go either way. I do a bit of fishing here at the river in town before doing a foraging run inside the secret woods. From there I move south into the big forest where I find a hazelnut. Not wasting any time, I use a warp totem to get to the beach, skedaddle to the community centre and donate a walleye and a tiger trout. The final 2 fishing bundles have been completed. I also finished off the fall foraging bundle. All that remains in this room is the winter foraging bundle. I trade 3 tickets for mystery boxes, a decoration for the house, and a book that gives us mining experience. I plant fall seeds and I send an emerald to Penny before going to sleep. 3 apples have been acquired on day 59. The majority of the day is spent fishing, both at the beach and at the river in town. I catch the anglerfish, donate 3 apples to the community centre, and talk to William in the north of the map. The big boulder that was here has been removed by the Junimos. Fresh water is flowing in from the tippy top of the mountain and it contains some valuable items. William then gives me the copper pan. We can use this pan to do some panning, surprisingly enough. The process of upgrading the pan has already begun on day 60 as I send it to Clinton along with 5 copper bars. I spend the morning chopping down trees, then I ask Robin to upgrade the house. I ask Marnie to add not just 1 but 2 new rabbits to the coop. Chips and Rice have joined the family. I spend most of the afternoon and evening fishing at the mountain lake where I complete the order Demetrius gave me. Speaking of Demetrius, he has sent us the crafting recipe for the computer on the morning of day 61. This right here is our reward for completing his order. I toss many items into the shipping bin, both for money and shipping collection purposes. Now, in terms of our skills, we are level 9 in foraging and combat, and level 10 in everything else. We are very much still on track to reach level 10 in all of them by the time day 80 arrives. I buy a pomegranate tree sapling as I don't remember seeing one growing on the farm. I'm gonna have to plant this in the greenhouse and it should be fully grown on the 5th day of winter, or around that time anyway. Which means that as of right now, that is the absolute earliest we can complete the community centre unless we get a pomegranate a different way. Or, unless there is a pomegranate tree sapling on the farm and I just haven't found it yet. I break a tree stump and then a boulder to reach a golden trash can. Inside the trash can lies the Alleyway Buffet book. Reading this book gives us a better chance to find items in the trash. I collect a prize ticket for completing Demetrius's order, and I trade 3 of them for a Stardrop tea, a decoration, and Omni Geodes. I have them cracked open and I get a couple of new items. I donate these items to the museum and dig up an artifact spot. I found an old coin. This can also be donated. The pomegranate tree sapling has been planted inside the greenhouse, but that doesn't really matter because I just found another pomegranate tree growing in the southwest of the farm. Yeah, I mean every other tree was growing here, so I had a feeling there had to be one of these hidden around here somewhere. The rest of the day is spent chopping down trees. Gunther is here on day 62. The museum is being given the Golden Shovel Award for the amount of artifacts it contains. Gunther says this is all thanks to us, and even better, the museum is receiving a big donation. Gunther says he will send us a portion of this donation in the mail soon. I don't have a lot of use for the hundreds, maybe thousands of pieces of wood I have right now, so I make a charcoal kiln and I place it with the chest and furnaces. The wood I've tossed into the chest will be converted into coal, which will then be used to make bars. Once again, I spend the rest of the day chopping down trees. Now you might think I'm doing this to get hundreds of pieces of wood, and I am, but I'm also doing it because you get foraging XP from chopping down trees. Just before 11 PM, a notification lets me know that I've reached level 10 in foraging. All that remains now is combat. I send my watering can to Clinton and I choose the perk that gives all trees a chance to drop hardwood. We have received 40,000 gold from Gunther on day 63. That is impeccable timing considering I want to upgrade all of my tools multiple times during the coming days and weeks. I visit the bookseller. I was hoping the book that gives us combat experience would be on sale today, but it is not. I buy 25 beet seeds from Sandy, which are quickly planted. I buy all of the cooking recipes that are being sold in the saloon, make a Mackie roll, and enter the mines. I accepted a quest to defeat 11 shadow creatures. But more importantly, I need combat experience. So the rest of the day shall be spent in here. I also found not just 1 but 2 diamonds, and I completed the quest before passing out. Day 64 has arrived and I find myself considering throwing ancient fruit into seed makers. In any other playthrough I already would have done this. But I prefer Joja berries and we have easy access to them right now, so I'm going to keep tossing the ancient fruit into the shipping bin, I think. Clinton has sent the watering can back to me, so I send it back to him. I collect more items than I know what to do with inside the coop and I visit the wizard. I went down into the basement in his tower and I started reading a book that I found down here. The wizard then came down into the basement and caught me, and at first he seemed to be shocked that I basically trespassed, but then he randomly offers to teach me magic in the future. I ask Robin to add a 3rd pond to the farm and I buy the crafting recipe for the big chest. A Mackie roll and a pomegranate have been donated along with an eggplant. My bank account makes a triumphant recovery from potential bankruptcy thanks to Pierre. I'm beginning to wonder where he's getting all of this money from. He's given me at least a couple 100,000 gold at this point. Where's he hiding all of that money? In preparation for future cooking recipes, I buy 50 of the cooking ingredients being sold here. Things like sugar and flour. I trade 10 iridium bars for the Desert Warp Totem crafting recipe and I spend the rest of the day in the Skull Caverinos. The wizard has sent me a letter on day 65. He's following up on yesterday's conversation and wants me to visit him when I get the chance. I pick up a truffle. We haven't donated one of these yet, so that will change very soon. I pick up the dehydrator inside the mushroom cave and I place it beside the chest. Now all of the mushrooms here will automatically be turned into dried mushrooms. I use birch water to make birch syrup, which I then use to make a piece of candy. I craft a big chest or 2 or 5 and plop them down. I donate the truffle and the candy and I take a look at the special orders board. Robin has also kindly offered me the same order as last week. Collecting 1,000 pieces of wood should be a walk in the park, considering we have a gold axe. 5 diamonds have been obtained thanks to a prize ticket. I need 1 more diamond, literally just 1 more, and then I will have all 36 I need for the dwarf. I make 4 kegs, which brings me up to a total of 8, and I toss coffee beans into them. I dilly-dallied with this one, I won't lie. I meant to do this during summer, but I mean, hey, at least we can start making coffee now. It's back to the caverns once again. More than anything else, I just want 1 more diamond. I don't get one. But I did get a lot of combat experience. In fact, I reached level 10 in combat at around 7 PM. There's still plenty of time left, so I continue making my way through this place. I'm glad I did, as I found a dinosaur egg shortly afterwards. I utilize a hardcore speedrun strategy to make it to bed a split second before 2 AM. We have acquired the iron watering can on day 66. It is immediately sent back to Clinton alongside 5 gold bars. I toss the mutant carp into a pond and the dinosaur egg into the incubator. I collect a few coffee, turn them into triple shot espressos, and crack open some geodes. I was hoping to get a diamond out of at least one of them, but that didn't happen. The rest of the day is spent in the mines. Once again, the whole point of this is to find a diamond. I do not find a diamond. Over 100 pieces of iron ore and a similar amount of gold ore were collected, however. Now that we have reached level 10 in all skills, I can enter the mastery room in the forest on day 67. It is in here where you can unlock mastery for each of the 5 skills. I need just under 7,000 experience points in order to unlock my first mastery bonus. I'm going to go with foraging mastery, as one of the rewards is the crafting recipe for the mystic tree sapling. Placing a tapper on this tree produces mystic syrup. This stuff can be used to make a treasure totem. Now this is a valuable item. We can use a treasure totem to make artifact spots appear. I can dig them up, donate the artifacts to the museum, and make Gunther happy. Give me my diamond, please. I am getting very close to adding the dwarf to my list of enemies for making me go through this. A monster mushroom has been harvested on day 68. Like the monster fruit we got during summer, this has been added to the game by the Stardew Valley Expanded mod. I received a gold watering can, and then I make a realization. The crystallariums are producing diamonds. I check the chest, and sure enough, it contains 4 of them. I'm going to assume they were literally just produced this morning, and I didn't go through all of that nonsense and heartache and misery in the mines and the skull caverns for nothing. I deliver them to the dwarf. I don't dislike the dwarf, alright? I won't be adding them to my list of enemies, but that was close. That was very close. I find a berry basket that belongs to Linus, place a battery pack inside a box in the tunnel, and head up to the summit. I collect the forage items up here, before throwing a rainbow shell into a box at the train station and donating a sweet potato, a pumpkin, and 5 gold star sweet potatoes to the community center. Another room has been completed. 4 down, 2 remaining. I place 10 beets inside Lewis's fridge and place a solar essence into the dragon skeleton in the desert. This, along with the beets in Lewis's fridge, the rainbow shell, and the battery pack, were all done for one reason and one reason only: to unlock the casino membership card. We can now find it in the pile of wood beside our house. I send the pan to Clinton and I harvest salal berries. I got around 40 gold star berries, which, I mean, yeah, I'm happy with that, but I sorta maybe forgot that I want to use them for energy and threw them into the shipping bin. Oops. I chop down enough trees to complete mastery level 1. The dwarf is here on day 69. He lets me know that he will open up the shortcut to the desert tonight. Okay, thank you. I grab a persimmon and I buy 187 starfruit seeds from Sandy. I need 200 altogether, so I return to her shop later in the day and buy 13 more. I did this for a very specific reason. I won't spoil what the reason is, but what I will say is I won't be selling any of these fruit. Which, now that I think about it, is actually really sad because they would be worth like 150,000 gold minimum. The greenhouse has been repaired by the Junimos. I enter it and it's a lot bigger than I remember it being. I can place 9 iridium sprinklers here instead of the usual 6, and there's more space for tree saplings too. I buy every fruit sapling that is being sold and donate a persimmon. All that remains are the winter forage items: amber, a rainbow shell, and a rabbit's foot. I chop down trees and complete Robin's special order. Foraging mastery has just been unlocked. As well as the mystic tree sapling and the treasure totem crafting recipes, we can also find golden mystery boxes. I make 10 tappers, 10 mystic tree saplings, 50 tree fertilizer, and 100 deluxe speed grow. I plant the mystic tree saplings, sprinkle fertilizer on them, and then plant the fruit tree saplings I bought in Pierre's shop. A cave has opened up on the farm on day 70. That is the dwarf opening up the shortcut, I reckon. I received the gold pan from Clinton along with the crafting recipe for the stone chest from Robin. Leah wants magic rock candy and will give me 15,000 gold for one. I can do that. I can actually do that one. Hold on a minute. I collect my ticket for completing Robin's special order and I trade 2 of them for mystery boxes and a magic rock candy. Look at that. Also, the next 3 rewards are a Stardrop tea, a treasure chest, and an iridium sprinkler. I want those, I want all 3 of them. I send my golden pickaxe to Clinton, which means we will receive the iridium pickaxe in 2 days. I meet Andy in the big forest right in front of the abandoned farmhouse. It belongs to Jerry and Elizabeth, or rather, it belonged to them. Yeah, past tense. They spent all of their money on some project of theirs and eventually just ran out of money and couldn't afford to maintain the farm anymore. Leah is dealing with a kerfuffle of her own. She has just finished telling her ex not to call her anymore. Leah and her ex lived in an apartment together in the big city. She did odd jobs during the day and focused on her art projects at nighttime. Her ex, well, at the time he was her partner, didn't like this. He wanted her to study business or medicine and earn a lot of money. Basically, he was trying to convince her to do what he thought was best for her. He didn't want her to focus on what she wanted to do. Not her passions, not her dreams, no, it was all about what he wanted for her. Eventually, she got sick of him and left him and moved here. She made the right choice, and her ex sounds like he sounds like he's not a very nice person, let's put it that way. Moving on to more light-hearted matters, I have earned a ticket and traded it for a Stardrop tea. Lovely. I plant almost all of the starfruit seeds I bought in the new greenhouse along with Joja berry starters. I ask Robin to add yet another pond to the farm on day 71. Clinton would like for me to defeat 50 dust sprites and Gunther wants 100 bones. I want to do both of these, but I can't, so I'm going to choose Clinton's. I hope Gunther will forgive me and offer me that order again next week. I spend all of my money on coal and I enter the mines where I defeat every single little dust sprite I come across, for a few minutes anyway. Then out of nowhere I got the urge to catch that legendary fish we found at Shearwater Bridge. I eat a sea foam pudding, cast my rod into the water and spend a solid minute trying but ultimately failing to catch this fish. I don't know if it's just me, but if I'm trying to catch a fish and the minigame goes on for longer than like 20 seconds, maybe 30 seconds, I can feel myself give up. It's like I have this timer in my head, and when that timer goes off, my brain accepts defeat. It doesn't matter if I'm still trying to catch it when that happens, it doesn't matter, I might as well just give up. I was thinking about this while fishing here, and something happened that basically proved my point. I hooked the legendary fish for the 3rd time. The minigame lasted less than 20 seconds, and I won. I caught the fish. The wolf snapper has been defeated. I enter the abandoned farmhouse in the big forest and I find an ancient doll. I take this doll to the mines and toss it into the water on floor 100. A bone serpent, which by the way is an enemy from a game called Terraria, comes out of the water and gives me an item called the Faraway Stone. I like this Easter egg. Abigail is in the graveyard practicing her swordsmanship. Her father shows up and is visibly annoyed, frustrated and upset with her. Her mother, Caroline, wants Abigail to help her cook dinner. And that's it. That's what all this hullabaloo is about. That's why Pierre is so annoyed. Abigail rightfully walks away, leaving her parents to make dinner by themselves. I catch a midnight carp before the night ends. The Stardew Valley Fair takes place on day 72. I've brought what I consider to be the best items I have with me. I place them in my Grange display. It is at this point that I realize I have to win first place. You see, you have to pay 50 gold in order to play the games here at the festival and earn star tokens. I have 72 gold, so I can only play one game, one time. I need 2,800 tokens in order to get the Rare Crow and the Star Drop that are being sold here. I earn first place and I receive 1,000 star tokens. This is good, but it's only step 1 of 2, and step 2 is the scary part. I now have to bet all 1,000 tokens on green and basically hope for the best. If it lands on orange, I'm basically out of luck. I will have to wait until next year to try again. It lands on green. Wonderful. Now we have 2,000 tokens. That still isn't enough though, so I bet 1,000 tokens on green again. Lady Luck must have decided to shine a light on my life today because it once again lands on green, bringing us up to a total of 3,000 tokens. I buy the 2 items I mentioned and breathe a sigh of relief. That could have gone oh so terribly wrong. Evelyn is here on day 73. She gives me a garden pot and the crafting recipe for the garden pot. I can grow a crop inside of this. It can be useful, but I have 2 greenhouses, so I'm all good. I visit the wizard. He teaches me some basic magic. I can now change my appearance by interacting with the statue in his basement. I enter the basement within the basement and place the Faraway Stone on a podium. A portal opens up, revealing a world from Terraria. A cat comes through the portal, gives me the Meowmere sword, and disappears. This is one of the best Easter eggs I've ever seen, simply because I love both Stardew and Terraria. And the Meowmere sword is a really cool weapon. The issue is, and maybe I'm just using the sword wrong, but it isn't very powerful. I feel like it should be on the same level, at least, as the Obsidian Edge sword you can get on floor 90 of the mines. It doesn't take very long before Dust Sprite number 50 has been defeated. There was a strong windstorm during the night apparently. I wonder what that's about. The crafting recipe for the Geode Crusher has been received on the morning of day 74. I tossed the wolf snapper into the new pond and used wood pathways to link it to the chest beside the 3 other ponds. I send my watering can to Clinton and I use the money I obtained from the sale of cranberries and salolberries to have a shed built on the farm. While I'm here in Robin's shop, I buy all of the crafting recipes she has for sale along with a double bed. I didn't mean to buy the double bed, that was an accident. I take a look at the Georgia clearance bin, but I don't buy anything. I don't think I've bought a single thing from there so far. I trade a ticket for a treasure chest and I help Haley at the beach. She lost a bracelet that belonged to her great-grandmother. I find it near Elliot's cabin and I return it to her. I open up the chest beside the crab pots and I take all of the crabs, oysters, yada 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 out of it. This crosses them off the list of fish we have to catch. Basically, I did it to add them to our fishing collection. I put them right back in as soon as I took them out. I buy bait and crab pots from William and add them to our collection here at the beach. I buy 2 crafting recipes and a cooking recipe from Krobus as well as a Stardrop. The entirety of day 75 is spent in the mines. The iridium watering can has been delivered to me on the morning of day 76. I'm going to upgrade the pan to iridium quality next, I think. Okay, no, I lied. I asked Clinton to upgrade my axe instead. I only just realized it's still iron quality, that won't do. I buy a bunch of mega bombs from the dwarf, ask Robin to upgrade the shed on the farm and clear the way to the shortcut that the dwarf made for us. I enter it and very quickly discover a secret tunnel. I emerge on the other side in a room full of Omni Geodes. After exiting the tunnel, I find myself in the south of the desert. I enter the Skull Caverinos and I spend the remainder of the day inside here. Now that we have given 36 diamonds to the dwarf and reached level 10 in combat, I can focus exclusively on collecting ore. I am able to reach mastery level 2 before the night is over. I trade Omni Geodes for artifact troves on day 77. I show my casino membership card to the security person in Sandy's shop and he allows me to enter the casino for the first time. I don't do anything in here, I mainly just wanted to officially unlock this place. I trade 2 tickets for an iridium sprinkler and a painting, then I crack open my geodes and my mystery boxes. This results in a few items being donated to the museum. I enter the mastery room and I unlock farming mastery. I receive 3 rewards for this. The iridium scythe, which can be used to harvest crops, the crafting recipe for the Statue of Blessings, and we can now find golden animal crackers. You can give this item to a farm animal to double the amount of items it produces. So we could give one to a chicken and it would produce twice as many eggs, or a cow would produce twice as much milk. Or a fish, like, I don't know, the legend would produce twice as much roe. Yeah, I want to get 1 or 2 or 4 of those animal crackers. I investigate a big tree stump in the forest and I find out I need 100 hardwood to repair it. I make 2 pumpkin soups. I'm hoping the boost it gives to my luck will help me get a golden animal cracker from a chest while I'm fishing. I buy the treasure hunter thingy from William along with the iridium fishing rod. I spend the rest of the day fishing here at the beach. The golden axe has been mailed to me on day 78. Believe me when I say I will be putting this to good use very, very soon. A sweet gem berry has been harvested, nice. I haven't really mentioned it, but I'm trying to make decent progress on the shipping collection as we go along. I toss a golden animal cracker into the pond containing the legend and that's it. I only got 1. I mean, I'll take it, but 2 or 3 or 4 would have been a lot better. I harvest the starfruit that has grown in the greenhouse. I plant the remaining starfruit seeds along with Joja berry starters. A baby lizard has appeared in the coop. I call it Asa. I just know Pierre the platypus hates seeing me enter his shop. He knows he's about to hand over 50,000 gold for a ton of cranberries that realistically he will never ever ever be able to sell. I ask Robin to add a second shed to the farm, and I use 100 hardwood to repair the massive tree stump in the forest. I don't know how I did it, but the stump has been turned into a lovely little house. The rest of the day is spent chopping down trees. Another sweet gem berry has presented itself on day 79. The wizard wants ectoplasm. That tends to be a nice and easy order, so I shall do that one. I trade 2 tickets for mega bombs and mystery boxes, and I eavesdrop on a conversation between Abigail and Caroline. Caroline says that Abigail doesn't appreciate her and Pierre allowing Abigail to live in their house rent-free until she finishes school. Right, okay, well congratulations Caroline on, actually being a parent. That's not something you should dangle over your child's head. Like, Caroline says that as though it's this really nice thing and Abigail should be so grateful for it. No? Thankfully, in this situation, Caroline listens to Abigail and seems to understand that her mentality just isn't fair to Abigail. If that cutscene had ended differently, like if Caroline hadn't listened and realized how harmful her way of thinking is, I would have gotten pretty heated there, I won't lie. But it ended in a positive manner, and I've just bought the final backpack upgrade, so we're good. I spent some time in the mines as I've decided to focus on the monster eradication goals for a while. I'm going to try to make at least a bit of progress in that whole area. I pay a visit to Marlin. He congratulates me on obtaining the Galaxy Sword. I can now buy other Galaxy weapons from him. I make 2 iridium bands and I return to the mines. I plant Joja Berry starters in the greenhouse on day 80 before asking Robin to upgrade the second shed on the farm. Once again, the rest of the day is spent in the mines. The copper hoe has been sent away to be upgraded on day 81. I harvest our second batch of starfruit. We almost have 200 of them. Just a few more days left before we can harvest the remaining fruit. I give a sweet gem berry to the statue in the secret woods, and I receive a star drop in return. I finally buy an auto grabber from Marnie along with 2 heaters. A raccoon has moved into the big tree stump here in the forest. It wants 5 crayfish and a smoked midnight carp. I can easily give it those items. I toss a midnight carp into the smoker and place the auto grabber into the coop. I make 11 mayonnaise machines and 11 cheese presses, and I place them in the coop and the barn. I find a sand dollar at the beach. This is cool, I don't think I've seen this yet. I had a bit of a lackadaisical moment when I tried to use a bomb to dig up an artifact spot. It didn't work. I don't know what I was thinking here. I give crayfish and a smoked midnight carp to the raccoon, and I receive powder melon seeds for doing so. It's back to the mines once again. I have found a rabbit's foot in the coop on day 82. This is one of the few items I still need for the community center. I buy an auto grabber for Marnie and I place it beside the cheese presses in the barn. I donate the rabbit's foot. The skeleton monster eradication goal has been completed, and the dust sprite goal has been finished off too. I grab 3 items from the Adventurers Guild. The vampire ring gives us a bit of health every time we defeat a monster. I got this for the bat eradication goal. The skeleton mask was for the skeletons, and the burglar ring was for the dust sprites. The burglar ring gives us a chance to get double the loot from a monster. With those goals completed, I set my sights on the doggies and the rock crabs for the rest of the night. I give ectoplasm to the wizard on day 83. That is yet another order completed. The Spirits Eve festival takes place tonight. I sell some hardwood and regular wood to Robin. I use a warp totem to get to the desert. I stay in the Skull Caverns until the Spirits Eve festival begins. I get the bus back to Pelican Town, buy the rare crow and the crafting recipe for the jack-o'-lantern, and make my way through the maze. I open a chest at the end and it contains a golden pumpkin. I don't know if I'm misremembering here, but I feel like at one point, maybe 2 years ago, this chest contained 3 golden pumpkins. All of the farmers in town have gathered in the shop on day 84. Myself, Andy, Susan, Sophia and Marnie are all here. Yeah, that's the entire cutscene. It was nice though, everybody was just happy and excited to see each other. I like this cutscene. In what is a very bittersweet moment for me, I sell cranberries to Pierre for the final time during fall. I trade a ticket for fairy dust, ask Clinton to crack open mystery boxes and buy a rare crow and a tea sapling from the travelling cart. Inside the mastery room I unlock fishing mastery. The advanced iridium rod and the crafting recipe for challenge bait have been received. And on top of that, we can now find golden fishing chests. And that is the end of fall. We are now officially 3/4 of the way through our very first year. I have a feeling winter might be the best season so far. Of course, there's only one way to really find out. Until then, however, I want to say thank you for continuing to join me on this journey through the Stardew Valley Expanded mod. I've been having so much fun playing through it, and I hope it's been fun for you to watch. As always, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Have a good one.